and now you want money for security. You have to deal with no-security response to the security challenges we are having. Thank you very much. Because it means we upgrade for the people.
I think that we should increase tariffs on imported vehicles to increase or to stimulate production in Nigeria. We have a lot of people who have already set up their assembly plants. We start with the automotive industry is also enjoying the backward integration program. We have to look into that to dissuade importation of finished items and promote assembly of shop. That's my own proposal. That's the only way we can stimulate production in Nigeria.
Reading through your presentation is very articulate. You seem to be clear about what we need to do. But listening to your explanation and some of your policies, they are completely at variance with the very beautiful presentation that you made. The documents from you under Nigeria Trade Office Ghana. Purchase of 2 units of project vehicles, SUV, 160 million naira. Is this a Nigerian-made vehicle? 160 million naira. Which kind of truck is this? I mean,
so it's for Ghana.
No, don't make your notes.
Okay.
So we avoid the crossfire. I don't want to just show that there's a huge gap between what we preach and what we do in your ministry. Understand our extent of dependence. What is the balance of trade between Nigeria and China? What is the balance of trade between Nigeria and countries under the European Union? What is the balance of trade between Nigeria and the United Kingdom? Most of our major trading partners. And when I talk about balance of trade, delete oil. The other one is an international product. So that we can appreciate how much we have gained in terms of giving all the money we spent over the years on export promotion and all the institutions we've set up, whether they are banks, they are commission, whatever they are, so that it will give us a window whether we are not just throwing money away. We probably have far more institutions, whether financial institutions or other commissions, with the one primary objective to promote export. So by the time you give us this figure, it will give us an idea. Number two, not be found in your office and be found elsewhere. He claimed to know where you were. I don't know whether he's tracking you. But there is one major thing that I've seen in all the committees that I've attended, and this is something the Senate has to look at. Every time Nigeria has to travel, including your ministry, we are, I use the word, and excuse me, but we need to be brutally frank, but not brutal to people, but in terms of calling a spade a spade. We always have the largest delegation of Nigerians to trade missions. Now I see in your proposal, you have trade mission in Geneva, and you are going to spend almost over 1.7 billion naira to maintain your Geneva office, which means ideally you have trade experts in that office.
Hello guys, welcome to the show. I hope everyone is doing just fine, and I hope that things are going according to plan. And if not, just keep on working on them. Like I have told you many times, and I'll keep on telling you that nothing good ever comes easy. It takes a lot of hard work and dedication to ever achieve anything significant in life. And the things are 2, 3, or 4 times difficult to achieve than earlier thought. So, whatever you thought was easy to get done is not as easy as you might have thought. So just keep on working, keep on doing it, just keep on moving ahead one step at a time, making the small but significant steps. And believe me, my brothers and sisters, you will get there. Slowly but surely, you will get there. Believe me, I can assure you about that. I can assure you that except you gave up, right? Except you just feel like I'm done and then drop everything and stop doing it. Except you do that, there is a chance you will succeed at the end of the day. Now, that chance might be very daunting. That chance might be unclear, but it is a possibility. You will get there. So let's continue with what is going on in Nigeria. And after watching the video where lawmakers, senators, drill members of government about how their budgets were too high and how they said something different and did something different. I think when it comes to politics in Africa, this has been a very common phenomenon in Africa that lawmakers, or in short, politicians as a whole, do not always do what they say, do not always walk the talk. They say one thing and they do a totally different thing. They are all just the same. So as I watched this video, I remember a time when Nigerians complained about how much lawmakers were being paid. So I want us to go through this article about what lawmakers get for us to understand how much those people are making. Now, I'm not saying that they did not have the right to batch at government officials, I mean like the ministers, because the ministers are terrible people. That's not what I'm talking about. What I'm saying is they are batching at the ministers. They are condemning them. They are trying to push back at what the ministers are doing or the budget the ministers have submitted. And they are making the ministers look bad. But what about themselves? Don't they think that it is high time they turn the blade inward and scrape the cancer that is eating their own bones? Don't they think that? Don't they think that it is high time to have a reflection on themselves to understand if what they have been doing has been the right thing? Don't they think that? Lawmakers are not great people, even though they try to portray themselves as looking out for the people. But they are not. They are not looking out for the people. Because if they were truly looking out for the people, they would have had a mechanism in place to even block some of this budget from being passed. But believe me, no matter how much they go talking, no matter how much they scream, no matter how they go at each other, those budgets that have been submitted by ministers, by members of government will pass. All those budgets will be approved. That is just what happened in Africa. They will be approved. There is no real mechanism in place to say that your budget is over the line. Can you cut it back, or can you cut down on this, on this, on this, or we will not pass this budget because you are unable to tell us what you did with the last one. They won't. They will just talk, and at the end of the day, those same budget will pass. So let's go through this article so that you can understand how much those senators who are screaming and shouting are actually collecting every single month. Why most of Nigerians go hungry. Why most of Nigerians cannot afford a single meal. Why most of Nigerians do not even know what they will eat the next day or even the next hour. Why most Nigerians do not even know if their children can go to school because they are not sure they can afford to pay the fees of their children. It's terrible, my brothers and sisters. It's really, really terrible. So let's go through the article. Breakdown of Nigerian senators' salaries, allowances emerges. The details of the salaries and allowances of the 109 Nigerian senators in the National Assembly, Abuja, have emerged. According to the breakdown, the basic salary of a Nigerian senator every month is Naira 2.48 million aside allowance. The breakdown shows that the total salary and allowance of every Nigerian senator is Naira 29.48 million monthly. So when you add their salary and all the allowances and everything they get, each Nigerian senator makes a whopping sum of 29.48 million naira monthly. Let me call that again. A single Nigerian senator makes 29.48 million naira every single month. Let that sink in for a second. Just let it sink in for a second. Let's just pause for a second and try to brainstorm on this. Just take a pause. Just think about this. When most Nigerians cannot eat, when most Nigerians do not have jobs, when most Nigerians cannot afford a place to stay, a single Nigerian senator will get 29.48 million naira every single month. And that is the one we know. This amount is the one we know. What about all the yellow envelopes or red envelopes or brown envelopes? What about all the tips here and there? What about all the favors here and there? What about all the behind the scene activities that we are not preview of? What about all the corners they cut? What about if they want to do something and their friends will offer them favors? Say, Oga, I know you're my Oga. Come. Usually this thing should be like 10 naira, but you are my Oga, sir. Take it for 3 naira. What about all those ones? There are many things, many behind the door things that goes on we have no idea about. This 29.48 million naira is the one we are aware of. What about those that we are not aware of? My brothers and sisters, this is mind-boggling. This is really, really something that we all must pay a close attention at. Let's see a little bit what it says. The salaries and allowances of the senators have always been of great concern and generated massive reactions from Nigerians. Why wouldn't they be angry? Why would they be angry? Anyone who hear about this would be very, very angry. And why wouldn't they? You know, when these members of parliament or senators, whatever they call themselves, when they are campaigning, they give us an image of themselves like they are our equals. The image they portray makes us feel like they are there to serve us, like they are there to look out for us, like they are there to defend us, and like they will come to our aid any day, anytime. That's the image they let us see. But it's such a fraud, a really, really big fraud. Because when the pull comes to shove, we then realize that we are on our own. No one is saving us. No one is coming to rescue us. We are on our own. We have been abandoned to ourselves. We have been disenfranchised. That is just it. You can see how much money these people are making every single month. And these are the ones we know. This amount is the one we know. If they can release this to us, 29.48 million, we can know about this amount. What about the one we don't know? What about the one we don't know? So, my brothers and sisters in Nigeria, let me say this one more time to you. If you ever thought that those senators were out there looking out for you, well, I'm sorry to disappoint you. I'm sorry to disappoint you, because if you haven't realized this by now, that they are out there for themselves, then I don't know. I just need to tell you, they are not looking out for you. And that is the truth. You must come to terms with this. Those people are out there looking out for themselves, not for you. Politics is a game of personal interest, period. They are not looking out for you. They are not. So it's high time you start looking out for yourself. It's high time you understand that those guys out there do not really care if you eat or not. Do not really care if you have somewhere to sleep or not. Do not really care if your own children go to school or not. They don't care. They have never cared. And they won't care. You have got to start looking out for yourselves. Forget politicians. Forget them. Start doing things that will make your life better. They won't look out for you. They've never looked out for you. But you guys out there, let us know your take on this story. When you see members of Congress or members of Parliament bashing ministers, do you think that they are doing that because they really honestly feel that something was wrong and needed to be said, or it's just a cover up? It's just a distraction. Because if they really thought that what the ministers were doing were unfavorable to the country as a whole, wouldn't they look at their own salaries? Wouldn't they look at how much they earn monthly to kind of like have some pity and sympathy for the people in Nigeria? Consider the fact that people can barely survive nowadays. Wouldn't that be a call for concern for the senators? Please share that thought and opinion with us in the comment section below, because like always, we love hearing what you have to say. And also, don't forget to like this video, share this video, follow our Facebook page, and most importantly, subscribe to this channel, because that helps us a lot and we shall forever be grateful to you. So thank you very much for doing just that. And like always, see you in the next one.